Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and today we have another Internet Anarchist video. And before we start off, look at that chin. His videos have the most interesting starts. Anyway, this is how CoffeeZilla destroyed YouTube's worst tech channel. Now, that's a big, tall order. There's a lot of really bad YouTube tech channels. But yeah, we'll see how bad this one is. I mean, can't be worse than any of the other 2,000 other ones that are garbage. Even if there's a scam involved in this one, there's scams involved in lots of tech channels. Anyway, let's get into it. This is from the Internet Anarchist. The original will be down in the description as per usual.
How badly does a self-proclaimed millionaire tech YouTuber have to mess up?
Kind of reminds me of the guy from, was it Do Kwon? From the stablecoin collapse?
To not just end up on CoffeeZilla's hit list, but completely destroy his career.
Okay, it's not that hard to end up on CoffeeZilla's hit list. His hit list is just like, oh, this sounds interesting. Yeah, I'll look into it.
With just one video.
I bet that if I were to get arrested and go to jail, the price of million token would skyrocket. It ended this guy's career. It destroyed
Did this guy have a crypto coin for himself? Okay.
his reputation.
More importantly, what would drive a once credible and wholesome member of the YouTube tech community to throw his entire career away for a quick buck? And why would he?
Did it say ex-Google employee? I mean, lots of people are ex-Google employees. I'm an ex-Google employee. So, I mean, okay.
Make everything worse by attacking CoffeeZilla. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be looking over the dreadful demise of one of YouTube's most infamous tech channels, Techlead. A man who let his ego and greed get the better of him in the worst way possible. Techlead, aka Patrick Xu, started his YouTube journey in 2016. He focused his videos on his experience as a Google employee. However, his connection to YouTube was deeper than most, since he was the tech lead for YouTube's iPhone app.
Oh, that's interesting. So he knew he knew exactly how YouTube worked in the background.
Back then, Patrick gave his viewers a unique glimpse into life at a prestigious tech company through his day in a life videos.
Cool things about working at Google is that you have access to every one of their offices in the world. I'll see coworkers taking a trip, maybe to New York or to some other country. So let's check it out. I wanted to show it to you guys.
And he offered technical advice in which programming languages aspiring software engineers should learn to enhance their skills.
The most important thing is to always keep learning. Here's the key answer. Think of the companies that you want to work for and go to their jobs website and look up what requirements they're asking for.
While the majority of Patrick's content was professional in nature, there were times when he didn't take himself too seriously.
I mean, the only downside of that that workaround process is now they have example. I have a background in tech. My degree that I use occasionally is in cybersecurity. Okay, well, technically it's IT with an emphasis on cybersecurity, but the problem with a lot of the hiring process now versus back in maybe 2016 is, let's say you go to Google's website and look for the skills that they're actually looking for. Well, you can actually go and apply for that job, but then they're going to give you a list of 5 or 6 other skills that don't even matter for that job that they want you to have, because now the way it works is Google's hiring system is like automated for the most part, and it just kind of filters out. So if you don't have one of those skills, it just deletes you. So you basically have to lie in a lot of cases to get the job and then go from there, which is not ideal because you're lying to get a job. So I would be careful on how some of the hiring processes work at some of these companies now.
And showed a more jovial side.
The feedback has been fairly negative up to this point. Are you sure you want to waste my time with this? I just want to make sure that we're using our time productively. I value your time. What is this supposed to be here?
Patrick's unparalleled insight into the tech world, deadpan demeanor, and occasional comedic outbursts drew viewers in by the tens of thousands.
Was he doing resume reviews?
Some looked to him as a useful resource for furthering their tech careers, while others simply enjoyed his strange mannerisms on camera. But the unifying factor behind the community Patrick built was his simple yet unorthodox approach to tech content. Unfortunately, Patrick's time as a Google employee would come to an end sometime in 2017, which later forced him to find employment at Facebook in May of 2018. However, due to reasons that will be made clear later in the video, video, Patrick would be fired from Facebook a little over a year later.
So that's the thing. So if you have a YouTube channel, keep in mind, whatever you post on it will be found by whatever company is attempting to hire you. So that is generally what happens. And if you are critical of your companies that you work for or have worked for in the past, it'll be less likely you'll be hired for a new tech company or any other company. So keep that in mind.
Out of a job and stripped from the titles that once defined him, Patrick was forced to seek other revenue sources and decided his YouTube community was his best bet. He was very aware of the impact his content had on aspiring engineers and sought to monetize his audience in every way possible. Despite no longer having his prestigious job title at Google, that didn't stop him from using it to boost his various marketing efforts. Patrick started by enlisting.
Yeah, I should just put ex-Google employee on all my stuff. I'm sure that would be useful. Ex-Google employee reacts to Internet Anarchist.
all his early vlogs and began selling the first season for $20.
When I first started making my YouTube channel, I talked about all sorts of different topics, and later on I would take down these videos.
While there was technically nothing wrong with him monetizing his old catalog, this would serve as the first step in Techlead's journey to squeeze every single penny out of his viewers.
I mean, okay, look, if you're a YouTuber and you're not trying to squeeze money out of your viewers, you're a really bad YouTuber. No. Okay, to be fair, a lot of YouTubers do this stuff for fun. My channel is mostly for fun, but I am monetized, which people should know, right? I have channel memberships, which I have one member. You know, and you know, we do want to make money on our channels. Now, I'm a reaction channel, so there are downsides to reaction channels. We're not creating new content. We're reacting to other people's content. So our viewership is not the same from a monetary standpoint as like the Internet Anarchist. One of his videos probably makes $10,000, whereas me reacting to his videos, even if I got the same view count, it would probably only make like $100. We do not get a lot of money for our reactions, which is fine. That's not what we shouldn't be getting a lot of money, right? So. But YouTubers who are actually creating content, even if it's this guy, this guy's content, of course it's about making money. A lot of it is about making money.
In the following months, Techlead shifted his content from purely educational to marketing videos, geared towards showing off how wealthy he was as a software developer. A key indicator of this shift in priorities was the addition of "as a millionaire" in the title of his videos, and the promotion.
I mean, that's smart. That's absolutely smart for putting that in there. Lots of people will click that automatically.
Of different training
look at the
programs
amount
in
of
the
views.
description of his videos. Back then, no one had thought twice about Patrick's ever-increasing push to monetize his viewers, since he had built up a reputation as a down-to-earth engineer with.
I mean, obviously, Internet Anarchist is pushing to monetize their viewers. I mean, everyone does this. I don't understand what the concept
prior
here is.
vlogs. Sadly, Patrick's reputation was about to take a turn for the worse, as someone in this community decided to take a closer look at what exactly he was promoting. On the 8th of November 2000.
See, if you promote your channel, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It doesn't matter. Look, you guys should subscribe to my channel. You can if you want. It doesn't really matter. But the reality is, promoting your channel is nothing wrong. But when you promote items on your channel, that can be a gray area. A lot of not just tech reviews, but Amazon item reviews, things like that. People will promote like a watermelon slicer, right? Weirdest thing ever. But a lot of people don't realize they're actually affiliates of that watermelon slicer, so they're getting paid a good chunk whenever they get a promotion click for it. Is that wrong? Not necessarily, especially if it's a good product, but what happens when it's a garbage product? Even then it's not necessarily a bad thing because it just tanks their own personal reputation of their reviews.
2019, a YouTuber by the name of Trend Black published a video titled Techlead and Jomatech, the worst of the tech industry, which meant to showcase and criticize the unsavory parts of Techlead's businesses.
Do you want to learn how to become a sellout? As an ex-Google, ex-Facebook,
ex-married. Well, anyone can fail at that, or anyone can fail at that part.
Ex-married millionaire tech lead? This man sells snake oil with enough affiliate marketing to set off an ad blocker. I used to watch a lot of Joe Matech. I mean, I even sent him this email. But times have changed, and today I'll show you why Joe Matech, Techlead, and their products are utter garbage.
Trent went on to expose how Techlead and Joe Matech had teamed up to copy the product of their former sponsor, Algo Expert, while offering an inferior product.
It's been brought to our attention that for the past week or so, there's been this domain out there that is using the Algo Expert brand, but that isn't algoexpert.io. And when you type that domain or URL in your browser, you get redirected to some completely different website that we are in no way affiliated to.
However, Trent's issues weren't with the plagiarism, but with the fact they were only reviewing questions from LeakCode's website and charging people $100 for it.
My problem is that if you're gonna fuck people out of $100, couldn't you guys at least make something that would help them? So their product, if you don't know, is basically an explanation of 50 popular interview questions, which doesn't sound too bad. That sounds like a decent product, but let's check it out.
To the first problem here.
Yep, so if we look at the screen, here it's a validate binary search tree.
See, right off the bat, these questions are just stolen straight from LeakCode.
The problems didn't stop there, as Trent
Okay.
pointed out.
So let me get this straight. They were stealing basic interview questions and compiling them all of LeakCode, then reselling them for $100. I mean, technically that's a little scummy. Absolutely. Where did LeakCodes get these original questions? Are they all free on LeakCodes? Do people know about LeakCodes? You know, if you don't know about the sources for these and they're still useful information, selling them is potentially scummy, but if people are willing to buy it so they don't have to go search for it themselves, then let them buy it. I don't see that much of a problem. You can be as stupid or smart as you want to be on these types of videos. Not videos, these types of programs. If you're buying from a YouTuber and you don't go and research the actual product yourself, that's on you, not on the YouTuber.
Out the absurd conditions in Techlead's refund policy.
Let's look at this refund policy. If you are dissatisfied for any reason, we offer a 14-day refund period for purchases if less than 40% of the total course material has been viewed. However, in order to qualify for a refund, you must submit proof that you did the work in the course and it did not work for you. Notice how they kind of trap you into this impossible scenario. So you must submit proof that you actually did the work in the course. So if you don't do the course, no refund. How do you prove that?
No, you can do the first 39% of the course and say you hated it. I mean, that's the thing. You can prove it. It's just annoying. It's annoying to prove. All you need to do is show like 20% of the course being done and be like, I hated everything about it. Now, technically, a lot of places should offer, just automatic refunds, but I get why they didn't. Chances are they already moved the money and spent it. So refunding it would suck.
You literally have to get rejected from an interview?
While Trent's criticism of the course was mild at best and could have easily been solved, Patrick decided to take a vastly different approach and filed a false copyright strike to silence the critic. By the 12th of November 2000.
Yep, okay, so there's a kind of an unspoken rule on YouTube. Don't file copyright strikes, including against reaction channels. With the exception of if someone literally like takes a video and just sits there and goes, yeah, I guess. Things like that, where it's not actually adding actual commentary to the channel back. Then people tend to do copyright strikes. But most places, aside from Nintendo, and maybe what was the other guy's name? He striked. There's another commentary channel. Starts with an M. I wonder if I have it up. Let me see. Let me pull it up real quick. No, I was gonna say Madcaster. That's not right. Essay channel? It must be an essay channel. I just know it starts with an M. Dang it, I can't remember. But basically this guy bought a channel called like Business Casual from the original Business Casual, and then he used his channel it's like his name was like Alan something or other, to strike another channel who was talking about how, giving him criticism, right? And he didn't just do one strike. He did 3 strikes to try and get the channel deleted. And it was this crazy nightmare. The biggest thing is don't copyright strike channels. Now, there's nothing wrong with copyright claiming channels. So, for instance, if you believe that there's, all your stuff is being used and you want to copyright claim it, go ahead. They can argue one time for fair use, and if no one agrees, then you can keep the claim up. Example: I'm a reaction channel, so I know a lot about the copyright claim process. A ton of my videos are copyright claimed, which is fine. I don't fight back against copyright claims that much, like rarely ever. I just leave it in and then be like, all right, well, I just won't react to that reactor necessarily, or if I do, I got to be more careful. That's it. That's how you do it. You can also message them directly and request permission. I'm actually whitelisted on quite a few channels to where I'm actually allowed to copyright. Even their MCMs don't that have the automated systems built in don't even block my channels. So, and that's for a lot of the like music stuff. So I don't know. It's interesting, but automatically just copyright striking people for criticism is messed up.
In
And we'll get
19,
you a
Trent
really
would make
bad
a
rep.
follow-up video to let viewers know why the first video was taken down.
Around 400 upvotes, I start getting a lot of messages and comments on my email, on my Instagram, on Reddit that says, dude, Techlead copyright striked you. So I check and I go back to my video and it says, your video has been removed due to a copyright strike from Patrick Shu, also known as...
Was it was it a claim or a strike? It looks like it was a claim, but maybe strikes and claims look the same. I've only ever gotten one strike, and it was from a random animation studio, and they just gave me 7 days to delete it, and I just didn't want to deal with it. So it didn't show up the same way.
the Techlead.
Trent also shared a message he received from Patrick that borderline threatened him to, quote, not make enemies.
I received a message from Techlead himself. Techlead here. A bit of friendly advice. Don't create enemies. It doesn't do you, me, or our community any good. Regarding Clement and me, it's such a mess. I'd rather not air our dirty laundry in the public to mostly uninterested people. It was mostly a boring story and we're friends and competitors.
Okay, Techlead was an idiot for doing this. If you're gonna do this, obviously he's gonna post the video up on or the message up on screen, and you're gonna look even worse.
Along with presenting a now deleted comment that Patrick left on his former sponsor's video, Trent stated that it was blatantly trying to offer a sponsorship deal in exchange for his silence.
Anyway, I think you have
that's
a nice
funny.
YouTube channel. I checked out a few videos and there's great potential. Let me know if you ever want to be an affiliate for Tech Series and help improve people's lives instead of spending time criticizing. We do 50% revenue share and would love to have your channel on board if you're interested. He is essentially offering to pay me in order for me to stop making negative opinions.
Yeah, okay, that's not great. That's pretty bad. That's effectively he's trying to create an MCM for him.
About him.
In his response, Patrick would flat out lie about not being able to retract a copyright strike and would attempt to justify his horrible business practices by saying no one else in the industry could offer the same insight.
What? You can absolutely retract a copyright strike. It doesn't take more than a second.
As he did. Reading, I can't retract a copyright strike. I recommend if you wish to criticize
What a liar.
me, simply remove the imagery of me and re-upload. The knowledge I have to share is something almost no one in the industry will do. Have a good one and let me know if you ever want to
And this is a guy who worked for YouTube. He knew exactly how this worked.
promote our stuff. Instead of taking a hard look at the subpar course he was selling, Patrick was fixated on the financial gain and his status as an ex-Google developer. He had zero tolerance for criticism and would go to any length to sweep it under the rug, even going
To be fair, I mean, a lot of companies would do the exact same thing, so maybe he's just working off his corporate knowledge.
as far as deleting negative reviews on his subreddit.
Got this comment from someone who actually bought and paid for Algo Pro. Too long, didn't read. It just says that Algo Pro sucks, but what struck me as interesting is his first sentence here. He said he posted it on the Techlead subreddit, but it was then removed. Now, Techlead's the moderator of that subreddit, so it's clear to me that he removed this review simply because it was negative, even though it was completely honest. So I can only conclude that the reason...
Okay. All right. Lots of businesses do not care about honest reviews. They just don't. I've worked in the restaurant industry a long time as well. And they don't want an honest review of their business. They want a good review of their business. An honest review means there's potentially something wrong with it. Lots of places only want good reviews. not honest reviews. Honest reviews actually happen a lot of times to give you a takedown request, a threat of a lawsuit, or something similar. And these are just like mom and pop restaurants that, could literally be trying to sue you over, you getting not necessarily food poisoning, but like your order wrong. And you're like, oh, my order is wrong, 3 stars. Plenty of restaurants have been like, oh, I know who you are. I'm going to send you a lawsuit potentially if you don't remove that review. And this is not unheard of. This happens more often than you might think. And it's not online. People online constantly are like, well, a review is a review. It's just an online thing. Whereas, in real life, though, people were like, no, I need almost all 5 stars on everything. Otherwise, it's going to tank my business. And they will do anything to keep that rating.
The reason he removed my video was because it was a negative review.
Working at a large tech company inflated Patrick's ego to a point that no form of negative criticism was valid, and everyone that he came across.
Man, I get negative criticism all the time on my channel. I should copyright strike all of my commentators. Nah, you guys are great. I really enjoy a lot of our conversations, especially the ones where I end up being wrong, and I'm like, oh, shoot.
Owed him the highest level of respect. Just take a look at the comment he left on a channel of someone he called a friend. Let me reply to this whole domain issue. Clement got greedy and decreased the affiliate commission percentage. In any case, stop being a crybaby. This is nothing personal. We just helped a student land triple offers at Facebook, Google, and Apple through our mentoring. And don't forget, respect the tech lead. Fortunately for Tren, Patrick would see reason and remove the copyright strike on his channel.
But I thought he couldn't remove the copyright strike. There's a chance YouTube did too.
But sadly, that wasn't the end of their interaction. On the 29th of April 2020, Tren made yet another video featuring Patrick. But this time, the issue wasn't a copyright strike. It was doxing.
So here's the thing about strikes, which a lot of people should be careful of, especially if you ever start a YouTube channel. Especially if you start a reaction channel, all right? Or any channel, really. But any channel that you're going to use other people's work for, okay? Doesn't really matter what it is. If you get a claim, all right, claim just requires you to respond to them and request the claim be removed, and you have to give a reason why. You can use fair use, you can use whatever reason you think you have a reason for it, okay? And it requires you to sign your name. That's it, okay? How many people have the same name in the world? You'll never find that person in most cases, right? So that's not a problem. Strikes, on the other hand, if you want to combat a strike, you have to fill out all your personal information, including your legal address and all the other stuff, which at that point means, and it doesn't just go to YouTube, it goes to the original creator or someone claiming to be the creator, which they can then use that information to dox you. And that's not great. Well, that's obviously not great, but
I wanted to inform you that I will be responding to your serious and false allegations by publishing a social media post calling you out. I will use both our full names so we're not hiding behind anonymity. Remember, Techlead only has my full name and my information because he falsely copyright striked me, right? It's understandable if you want to defend yourself online, but I really hope you don't release my name online. I've kept this private for a reason. I have my face in my video, so clearly I'm not anonymous. So then he just goes on a huge tangent.
Look, that's not going to matter to someone who's trying to fight bad reviews. They're going to put your actual information out because they were given it, and they're going to be like, well, you're a public figure now, which isn't entirely true and not exactly how YouTube works. Like, I'm a partial public figure, but I'm not really a public figure. You potentially know my first name as in Jeff, but it may not be my real name. You don't know that. A lot of people have no idea what my name potentially could be. I could just be using it as an interesting name. But that is what it is. But the thing is, just putting his name out wouldn't be doxing him necessarily. But if you start putting out, it doesn't create. Okay, so for instance, you have my first name. That doesn't help you with anything, right? But if you have last names, that's a problem, especially if you have a more unique name.
And basically says, I'm gonna dox you if you don't take your video down. Good luck.
While Patrick didn't follow through with the post, he added in doxing Trent by giving his full legal name to another creator he criticized, Matt Tran. Apparently Matt wanted revenge on Trent for making a critical video about him and reached out to Patrick for his details. After a series of threats, Matt released Trent's details in an article geared towards ruining his reputation and future job opportunities. Patrick's actions jeopardized a fellow creator's career prospects, making it nearly impossible for Trent to fight back alone. Thankfully, Trent had a really good friend.
Oh, I got lucky. CoffeeZilla. Don't mess with anyone who's connected to CoffeeZilla.
Willing to back him up. CoffeeZilla.
Hey guys, wanted to make a short video to speak up for a friend of mine who's been silenced and doxxed.
Is this what CoffeeZilla used to look like? Oh, okay.
And blackmailed and threatened by two YouTubers who are much bigger than him, and I feel like he doesn't have the platform to defend himself.
I know this is all about CoffeeZilla right now and talking and everything, but man, I really want those shelves. Anyone have any idea where he got those shelves? Those things are great.
Both in terms of his audience reach and in terms of the fact that anytime he posts a video, it's immediately copyright striked.
Coffee would go on to state his role in trying to prevent the doxing and confirmed that Patrick was responsible for the entire situation unfolding the way it did.
I asked Matt Tran if this is indeed where he got the information from.
Let me ask you, did Techlead get, or did you get to the name from Techlead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To add insult to injury, now Trent Black is put in a position where his full name has been doxxed due to YouTube's absurd copyright system, due to Techlead.
Oh yeah, the copyright system for YouTube is crazy, at least for the way strikes work. Now, the main reason YouTube does it this way is because YouTube doesn't want to be held responsible for anything. They're a video hosting site, and they're putting all the responsibility on its creators. The reason for that is if they could be sued, they would be completely, they would be destroyed in court, just from hundreds of creators automatically attempting to take them to court. It wouldn't just become a regular class action lawsuit, because that would be part of it, but there would be tons of personal lawsuits as well. And by doing it this way, they put it all on the creators to deal with it themselves. And that's kind of how it's like this weird legal gray area.
Absurd abuse of the system. But now after posting a video about it, that video was then falsely taken down by Techlead. The video that Trent Black posted had zero footage of Techlead in it. And guess what? Techlead claimed that video, so no one can see it.
CoffeeZilla's video would go on to become a catalyst for more people hearing about the story, which forced Patrick to retract his copyright strikes and Matt to give an apology. However, Patrick wouldn't be so humble as to recognize the error of his ways and made a video titled My Response, addressing my haters as a millionaire Trent Black Matt Tran drama.
He just doesn't care. Why would he care?
Be so humble as to recognize the error of his ways and made a video titled My Response, addressing my haters as a millionaire Trent Black Matt Tran drama.
I can come up here and give this amazing speech that would totally justify my existence and make...
The reality is a lot of YouTubers, and I'll be honest, don't actually care about other YouTubers. They don't. I mean, they're a lot of friends and whatnot, but they don't really actually care on a personal level in most cases. They're going to say it, but especially in the drama sphere, in the essay sphere, and anything in this general sphere, they don't actually care. The more drama they pull up, the more eyes they get on their channels, the more views they get, and it's just this self-cycling pit of nonsense. But guess what? They're all making more money by posting these videos.
Make me look like this pure, innocent angel. But I have a feeling that my haters are still not going to accept that. Some people, they just don't like the way I look. It's a personal thing. They just don't like my appearance. Maybe I remind them of somebody who wronged them in the past. Maybe they're jealous of my success or jealous of my failures. And there are a lot of people out there who are simply racist.
From the start,
I mean, are we sure he's a millionaire? Because look at his back wall. Hey, that's like a $65 shelf. I don't know how many millionaires with a $65 shelf from Target.
Patrick saw nothing wrong with his toxic behavior and framed the hate he rightfully received as racism. Say goodbye to your bad habits a delightful way with today's sponsor, The Few.
I'm so confused. All right, Internet Anarchist. One thing you need to do in your videos is you need to have a better ad transition.
the award-winning device that's all natural. At the start, I wasn't sure what to think about it, but after trying the maple pepper core for the first time, I was completely sold. Instead of using electronics, fume is completely natural. Instead of using vapor, fume uses flavored air. And instead of using harmful chemicals, fume...
Yeah, to be fair, vaping, while fun, man, those little misty particles that get in your lungs are iffy at best right now. But man, vaping is so fun.
And sadly, it was more of the same.
But anyways, I did want to quickly address the whole Trent Black Matt Tran drama. I don't know if you've been caught up with this, but the story is essentially that Trent Black has been accusing Matt Tran of doxing him, and somehow my name got dragged into all of this. His whole channel is based on roasting other people. His two biggest videos have been on roasting me, trolling me, and I believe that he basically just dragged my name into this mess because he knew that my channel was bigger. I have more subscribers. People don't really know who Matt Tran is. If he wants the views, he needs to come after me.
Zero accountability, self-awareness, or regard for his audience and critics. These scumbag qualities had gotten Patrick on CoffeeZilla's radar once, and it was about to happen again for the second time. Unfortunately for Patrick, he wouldn't get away scot-free this time.
Yeah, going up against CoffeeZilla is detrimental at best to most people. CoffeeZilla is one of the few people online that will do so much research into you that you better hope you're squeaky clean.
The 1st of July 2021, Patrick would publish a video announcing his latest money-making opportunity, Million Token, a cryptocurrency he claimed
okay, so he did create a crypto coin, okay.
and would go to the moon.
Today marks the start of a brand new journey for you, for me, for all of us. I'm glad you could join us because today, we are launching a brand new digital currency. The currency's name, Million Token. And so Million Token is...
Let me guess, it crashed through the freaking floor, which is, normal for every cryptocurrency. Now, it could be... You can make money. Everyone can easily make money on any token, but you can also lose a ton. It's best if you're going to play on the crypto market, only buy tokens that have already been vetted on things like Binance. or Coinbase. If it's on Coinbase, you're probably okay to at least buy it. At least you can probably sell it relatively quickly.
Is literally $1 million opportunity. I'm putting $1 million of my own money into this to get us started, but this coin can skyrocket in price. It can take us to the moon. So what is Million Token? What's the concept? Well, it's like this. Million Token is much like a stable coin. One token equals $1. For Million Token, the supply is fixed. There's only 1 million tokens total.
Now it's really definitely sounding like Do Kwon. Wait a second. If there's only 1 million supply, and he put $1 million in, okay. Alrighty then.
Worldwide, no more can ever be created as guaranteed by the smart contract code.
Patrick would go on to make even more bold claims about the future of Million Token and desperately try to sell viewers on the potential value of this coin.
The tokens start at an initial minimum base value of 1 token equals $1. But the value can actually rise higher than that because there's only a total limited fixed supply of 1 million tokens total.
But how could that work if it's supposed to be a stable coin? That doesn't make sense. Stable coins are supposed to be stuck to the dollar or to another currency. So it should never rise above that.
No more can ever be created.
Patrick was banking on the claim that his tokens already had a $1 valuation to incentivize viewers into buying and promoting the coin to inflate the value. There was zero utility behind the token, and Patrick knew it. That's why he was more focused on the upside if viewers were gullible enough to pay for it.
Is this a decent store of value? And I would say, well, yes, it seems like it is because it is a fixed total max supply, just 1 million tokens. You cannot create more. And so the token is a deflation.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense, though, if you have it marketed as a stable coin. Okay.
In nature, and over time, its scarcity should only increase, thus increasing the value of the coin.
While there were some viewers that believed Patrick's claims without any critical consideration, others were more skeptical, with comments reading, "So you're scamming? Does this coin create value or just make you rich?"
Right.
As well as, "Remember this video, this is the point, you're going down." In the video description, Patrick left a link to the Million Token website, and audience members who took the time to look through were greeted by a very very telling disclaimer. Million Token is a social experiment. By
Yep.
purchasing Million Token, you agree that you are not purchasing a security or investment contract, and you agree to hold the team harmless and not
Okay, that's every single cryptocurrency out there, so that's nothing new.
liable for any losses or taxes you may incur. By Patrick's own admission, the Million Token wasn't a viable financial opportunity or store of value.
Okay, no crypto coins technically have a store of value. All right, none. They just don't. All right, it doesn't mean you can't make money with them though. All right, you can still make money with them, and that's not an issue. Everything has a value of actual value if you believe it. Example would be video game items. They technically don't have actual value. All right, they're useful in your own ways, and you can definitely sell them in most cases on third-party sites, but they don't have actual value. It's just like trying to sell a digital picture. It doesn't have actual value. But it does have value in the fact that if someone is willing to pay you for it, it holds value. Okay? And so that's not exactly the like a like a weight and anchor against this company necessarily.
But
it
that
could've
reality didn't stop people from putting their hard-earned money on the line. Within the first 2 weeks of the token going live, the price soared over $250.
Yeah. At the time, it was worth $250 for anyone willing to buy a coin. Okay? That's the same for every other coin on the market. People are willing to spend $64,000 for a single Bitcoin right now, right? That doesn't matter. If you want to spend it and it's worth it to you, then it has that value point. It doesn't matter if there's no actual value to it. You know, there's more value in this cup right here, technically, than a Bitcoin just from, like being able to hold an actual thing. But the reality is, if you're willing to pay for it and someone else is willing to buy it from you, it can hold value no matter what the item is. So this isn't really a good example of a coin that's like a scam until it becomes a rug pull. So if the coin gets deleted off of all the exchanges and you can't sell it anywhere, then it's more of a rug pull. And even then, that's still your own risk. It's like gambling.
With a trading volume of more than 120 million. In the short term, people were blinded by the potential to turn a quick profit. However, in the long term, the only person that would make that profit was Patrick. And CoffeeZilla was about to prove it. On the 7th of August...
So here's the thing. If it's on an actual exchange, then you could definitely make money. But if this is on a private exchange, then you can absolutely say it's a potential scam.
2021, CoffeeZilla would return to expose Patrick's latest scam with the video titled Techlead Scammed You with Million Token as a Millionaire.
Let's talk about Techlead's Million Token. What is it? What does it do? Who's it helping? I'm going to walk you through all of it, and also, not to give too much away, but I will at the end of this video also crunch the numbers and show you exactly how much money Techlead has made with this coin, and the answer is millions of dollars.
To give viewers a comprehensive scope of what exactly was going on, CoffeeZilla outlined what Million Token was and how Patrick blatantly lied to his audience while promoting it.
He made it sound like he was really investing in this coin, but the reality was there was never a chance he could lose money. Number two, he was careful with his words to avoid calling this an investment, but also makes it sound like you'll get.
I've never heard any cryptocurrency call, except for, Bitcoin once it was actually approved and part of Wall Street. And even then, Wall Street doesn't like calling it an investment. I have never heard of any cryptocurrency actually called as an actual investment without their disclaimer saying this is not an actual investment. So
rich. 3, he's been siphoning money into shell accounts. And 4, he's been running ads in which he lies about this cryptocurrency.
Coffee went on to provide proof that Patrick never invested $1 million into the token. In fact, Patrick had only put $50,000 into the project while using money from buyers to make up the difference.
From the
Sure, that sounds about right.
Blockchain, that Techlead did not put $1 million into this. In actual fact, he started with the entire supply. This is Million Token. He was given the entire supply at the very launch. He didn't pay for it. Instead, as he sold Million Token, he used that money that you guys bought it with to back the coins.
The premise behind Patrick's...
That's what a lot of places do. Why would they use their own money when they can use the people buying into it? This is not unexpected. I mean, it's a little scummy on the way he's doing it, but yeah.
so-called opportunity was a bold-faced lie, but even that was only the tip of the iceberg. To further push his scam token to a wider audience, Patrick ran ads to promote Million Token while refusing to disclose he was the one who created the coin.
He got an ad for milliontoken.org, which featured Techlead's video shilling it. And what's shocking about this, besides the fact that he's advertising his own channel and this coin, is that he never discloses in the video that he created the coin. Instead, he pitches it as if he just found it randomly.
Coffee continued by exposing just how much Patrick had taken from the audience.
So I traced all the transactions this guy made in a big...
By the way, yeah, with crypto, you can definitely follow every single transaction.
Spreadsheet, and then just categorize who they were to, who they were from. This is for all the USDC pools, the million token pools. And according to my calculations, Techlead has pulled out and siphoned into a bunch of shell accounts a total of $3.3 million.
After discovering the truth behind Million Token, CoffeeZilla would confront Patrick on his dubious claims and had this to say.
So the first part is he confirms that he did just put in $50,000. He later says,
I'm putting $1 million of my own money into this to get it started.
That he believed he deployed another $50,000, but this was from what you guys spent on Million Token. So that is confirmed.
Patrick defended his scheme by claiming the community was valuable and therefore not a Ponzi scheme.
Is this a Ponzi scheme? It depends on whether you think the community has value. If you think marketing, community, and brand have no value, then certainly this would be zero sum. Wow. But I think you can just look at Coca-Cola or Nike and see that brands do have value. Hey, those brands have products, guys.
Now, you'd think after getting exposed for lying, manipulating, and stealing from his audience,
no, that's not how this works.
that Patrick would at least keep his mouth shut. Unfortunately, his pride and disdain for criticism wouldn't allow that.
I mean, the smart person would do the Sunny V2 approach and just keep moving forward.
He retaliated in the most vindictive way possible. By the 11th of August 2021, CoffeeZilla covered Patrick's now deleted response video, as well as going over how he got doxxed and was called racist.
Ladies and gentlemen,
is Techlead actually going to jail, or did he go to jail? That's pretty funny.
Techlead has responded. Brace yourselves. He's gone full damage control, panic mode, including calling me racist for exposing his scam.
In his typical fashion, Patrick deflected criticism by saying other people were complaining and being victims.
He goes around basically calling projects scams, and maybe he generates some...
Oh, never mind. I'm not sure if I'll be able to release this video. Apparently, Techlead filed a DMCA claim against the Internet Anarchist for this video. So he's obviously not stopping.
Good press for himself. He virtue signals, and then people think that he's a hero for calling everything a scam. Life is a scam. Okay, he's a hero. This is really just victim mentality.
Thankfully, Patrick would admit that he lied about the initial investment in Million Token.
And to clarify, okay, when I started the project, I bootstrapped with 50,000 USD coins paired to 50,000 Million tokens.
That's exactly what I said. So he's admitting it. He did not put in $1 million of his own money. He used your money.
However, that was the only responsible thing Patrick did throughout the video, as he spent the rest of it virtue signaling and putting himself on a pedestal.
And so it's kind of like Genghis Khan, Napoleon, or Captain Blackbeard, these iconic historical figures. And
oh, I remember that guy's name. It was Alex Edson. He's the one who does the crazy copyright strikes against random people. And apparently this guy.
Some of these people were even villains. Sure, you could say that Captain Blackbeard was a scammer, he even killed people, and yet they are legends in history, and there is a value with these people.
The delusion didn't stop there, as Patrick assumed facing any consequences for his actions would raise the value of Million Token and make him a legend.
I bet that if I were to get arrested and go to jail, the price of Million Token would skyrocket.
What's interesting about YouTube creators? They love talking about other people. They love talking about various random things. They hate getting criticism. So, they will file DMCA takedowns on other YouTubers who just criticize them. Now, I guess one way you could think about it that way is they're like, well, I'm going to, they're trying to get their information to sue them. So I guess that could be one thing. Like, let's say it is an unspoken rule, right? Don't do false copyright strikes on YouTube, but that's not necessarily a direct rule. I can see why he wants to take down these videos. Like, for instance, he apparently tried to take down this video, which is as of like a day ago. But he retracted that claim. So he just doesn't like criticism, which, I mean, I get it. I mean, a lot of people don't like criticism, and they're going to do, the automatic thing about, and try to get it removed. If I post this video, we'll see what happens, and it might get, I might get my first actual channel strike. But, I mean, it's interesting. I really do find this type of stuff interesting on how creators themselves react. I'll never go onto a channel and call any one thing absolute, but the only thing that really bugs me is the Illuminati stuff.
Because it would just be legendary.
CoffeeZilla would close out the video by exposing how vengeful Patrick was to dox him by posting already debunked information on Twitter.
Oh, and I almost forgot. Like, yeah, he also tried to dox me. Yeah, I almost left that out of this piece. Using an old debunked piece of blackmail that we talked about in this video. Remember, this is the thing Swag Academy tried to catch me out on, but retracted immediately because it's literal blackmail and a dox.
The way Patrick reacted to CoffeeZilla's video was identical to what he did with Trent Black. Blackmailing, slandering, and doxing someone who presents genuine criticism, all the while making himself out to be the hero. Shortly after CoffeeZilla's exposed videos, viewers began waking up to just how deceptive Patrick was, but it was already too late. The price of Million Token had dropped by over 80%, and as of this recording, it sits at a price of $1.5. Slowly but surely...
I mean, technically, that's still over $1. So, I mean, if you bought in at the beginning, you're not at a loss. You're still up. But, yeah, like, here's the thing. I don't think coins themselves are scams. I think it's people attribute value to a coin on what they're willing to pay for it, or any item. It could be anything. It's what you are willing to pay for an item. If it gains value, great. If it loses value, well, that sucks. So the only time I would consider it an actual scam is if you literally cannot sell it. So, for instance, if you buy $100,000 worth of a coin, but there's no actual exchange to sell it on, that would be a scam. But if buying a million token and you're able to actually swap it and sell it back and forth on like Uniswap or whatever, that's not a scam. That's just people putting in a ton of money and bumping the value up like crazy, and then effectively selling it. Buy low, sell high, pump and dump type stuff. But that pump and dumps are not inherently good, but they're not inherently scams either. So, I mean, GameStop would be another example. GameStop doesn't deserve its valuation, but it's not necessarily a scam to pump it up and then sell at a higher price. That's just a risk you're willing to take to do it.
Patrick's once loyal audience began losing interest in his channels and stopped watching his content. As the views dwindled, his subscriber
I was like, that looks like it's going up. What's going on here?
Account stagnated and dislikes increased. Patrick decided to make an exit by deleting a majority of his previous...
Okay. I was like, everything was going up on the top one. Yeah, I understand how the views drop here, but...
uploads. However, YouTube wouldn't be the only place Patrick would lose all credibility. In May of 2000...
Okay, look, losing credibility on a small amount of YouTube... if I had gone to his channel, I would have no idea about any of this drama unless I was watching Internet Anarchist. And Internet Anarchist and all these other drama channels do have a decent viewer base, but it's not massive. That's not how you lose credibility on YouTube.
2022, Patrick would make a series of unhinged tweets about his time interviewing people at Google, reading, "So when I used to conduct interviews for Google, I rejected all women on the spot and trashed their resumes in front of them.
Yeah, that's bad.
Didn't take long for the statement to make headlines, and for most Silicon Valley companies to blacklist him." Patrick...
Ooh. Why would you tweet that? That's my biggest criticism of you. Why would you do that, of all things?
Patrick started out as a positive and relatable figure in the tech space, freely giving out valuable insight and advice to younger developers. Now, he's telling them that they're nothing but grunt workers if they pursue that line of work.
Software engineering ultimately is kind of it's not exactly high status work. High status work...
I mean, he's not wrong. Software engineering now is so saturated with tons of people from all over the world, it's almost impossible to get into the job at a decent pay level. And then anything that you do get are being paid for, it's going to be hours and hours of just horrible basically grunt work is what he says. So that's not exactly wrong.
Would be the type of job that you would want to do even if you were rich. Something like, say, directing a movie, being an actor.
If it's a decent job if you really just like being alone and quiet. It also lies to you about the initial pay of most. And this, I'm not talking about people who already have the skills and already are in the field. If you're already in the field, you already have a way in to the higher paying areas. But a lot of people are getting paid just barely above minimum wage, if not minimum wage.
Maybe being a novelist or a painter, something that would get you some social credibility.
Money, status, and his pride were the only things that mattered to Patrick, and he was willing to throw everything away for that. Sadly, money is the only thing he has left, since
Okay, look, money is the only thing that matters to the majority of people. That's it. That's just all there is to it. A lot of people don't care about any of the other stuff. If they have enough money, they can just buy their way out of everything else. That's the real thing here. I mean, as much as I love the Internet Anarchist videos, I'd say this video was a little interesting. I'm not giving Patrick an automatic pass here for a lot of the stuff that he potentially did, but it's not anything worse than the majority of what YouTubers do in general. So, and as for crypto side stuff, that's just a risk you are personally willing to take. If you are willing to take a risk on a coin, that is on you. You are risking it. Don't just blame every other little person around you. The same thing would be like CryptoZoo. Like Logan Paul may have thought it had a fun idea on doing the CryptoZoo thing and thought it would be cool and all. And the problem is, I think with Logan Paul stuff though, is you couldn't actually sell it, right? That was the biggest problem with his. But it looks like Million Token you can actually buy and sell on Uniswap, which means inherently it's not a scam. It doesn't matter if it's worth $1.36 and the price is pushed up to $260. That's irrelevant. That's up to the people who bought it. That has nothing to do with him specifically. So I can't justify that as a claim against him. That's all. Anyway, have a good day, everyone.